Well, welcome back then. If you missed qualifying, go back and watch it. It was a great lap from Amazing Hour, and get into the 40.8s. No other driver could do that, but if you skipped qualifying, that is a real shame. You join us here for the TT Masters League Belgian Grand Prix, round number 7 of season number 2. Myself, Kieran McGidley. I'm joined alongside by the lovely Mr. James Head, Mr. TT Masters League himself. 100% record yet to be beaten, yet to be broken. James, we saw a fantastic qualifying, and for those who've just come for the race, let's have a quick recap of qualifying. What a lap from Amazing Hour.
Yeah, 1:40.8 from Amazing Hour. With Medium Pilot not being here, it's really thrown the ringer, I think, in terms of who will get pole position. And Amazing Hour is that man who has got pole position out on track. Hardy, though, on his debut in second. Really good lap, just within the 141s. And Combi in third, rounding off the top 3. It looks like we're down to 12 drivers. Venom has managed to join back the session. I don't think his car is there on the grid. Actually, hold that thought, it is.
Yeah, it is, as it is on the grid, but it is ghosted. So if he can rejoin back into the session, he will be allowed to take the start. He's been having a couple of issues, and I'm sure they're pretty much related to the issues we've had all night that have meant we couldn't record or we couldn't stream this race tonight. This is why you're seeing a pre-record. It's recorded as live, but you can actually skip to the end if you really want to. But don't do that. Don't do that. Watch with us as we find out over the next 22 laps who will take the victory at the Belgian Grand Prix. Will it be Amazing Hour, who showed us some amazing form in the French Grand Prix, picking up a podium in the Alfa Romeo? That's a way to start off your TT Masters League campaign. Could it be XL Hardy? Well, at the moment, he's a debutant outright. This is his first race in TT Masters League. He's got a real chance of taking a win next to his name. How about Combi? Well, he's a reserve driver, so he's on 20 points at the moment for a reserve driver. That's a fantastic tally to have at the moment. He'll be wanting to get up the order. Unfortunately, though, his points won't count to the constructors table because he is a reserve driver, so he's completely driving by himself out there. That's not what Ferrari needed, but it's what Ferrari are going to get. And how about Perpetum? One of the first times he's not on pole position, James. He's starting down in P4. That's not where we expect the AlphaTauri driver to be.
He's just been outpaced by drivers that are not necessarily as quick as him, to be honest. And it's one of those tracks Belgium really finds out the flaws in the drivers, possibly. And we should see, I think, a cracking race. The last time we came here, remember, we had the safety car farce. And I really hope that we're not going to see anything of the difference as per that night. Yeah. Joram, Varkey, Matthias, all on different tyres. Joram on a set of soft compound tyres, Varkey and Matthias on a set of mediums. Set of mediums can go longer into the race, probably to around the halfway stage, but then the set of soft runner in Joram, he's going to be going probably to about lap 6, lap 7, pit in for a set of hard compounded tyres. And just before I break in back to Kieran McGinley, I'm going to predict the top 3, and my top 3 is Amazing Hour for the win, Perpetum for second, Chapelelli to right as longs in third.
Well, we now grid up, and if you're watching along at home, make sure you write down James Head's predictions. We'll have a quick recap at the end of the stream, see how right he was, or see how wrong he was, as a typical Head prediction is. But we are moments away then from the Belgian Grand Prix here in TT Masters League for the 7th round of the 2nd season. Get the popcorn, hold on tight, it is 5 red lights! And we're racing in Belgium. What are the starts like? It's a good start from Amazing Hour. Look at that sparkling start from Venom in the background, trying to make his way through in towards the source hairpin for the very first time. Very narrow, very tight corner. Widens on the exit, so you can try and take a little bit of pace through. Amazing Hour's got a great start as we now run away down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Perpetum has already made a start. He's already made a great start. He's past Combi and he's up into the podium placings now. Meanwhile, XL Hardy is going side by side with Amazing Hour. Debutant versus second race. Heading now down towards Les Combes. XL Hardy's on the outside, heading in towards Les Combes. He backs out of it though. Amazing Hour just about holds on to the lead of this race, but Hardy's made a mistake. There goes Perpetum, who's looking for any weakness in the drivers ahead. He's already dispatched of Combi as we make our way now down towards Brussels. Lemon is up a position. Venom is now down to 9th place as Perpetum tried to sneak it up the inside of Brussels. Not normally an overtaking opportunity as we now fly away through X corner. Venom is now all the way down to 12th place. A little bit of drama at the start. He's now under pressure from Varky as we're looking to go side by side going through Pouon here. As then, look, I don't know. I think there's damage to that Renault that we're not quite seeing, unfortunately, because he's fallen all the way down the order. Coutinho right on the back of his teammate in Lemon going up and down the field. Amadi is in 6th place, but he's just picked up, actually Yaram that is, who's picked up a 3-second time, and the Killer Blues had a little bit of trouble as well. He's now down to 9th place. Both Red Bulls are through.
Yeah, running out the Campos section, just ran wide, and now both Red Bulls, Coutinho and Twitch Lemon, they're going to try and go side by side through Blanchimon, and now Killer Blue's got a tremendous overspeed to try and get both of them in towards the bus stop chicane. Papetum's going side by side as well with Hardy for second. Papetum ran the outside on the bus stop chicane. Can he get the move done? He can. Twitch Lemon, Killer Blue, there's been all sorts of contact in behind, and unfortunately, I think Coutinho has had to cut across the chicane, but it is really 4 wide running down the straight. Onto lap 2 we go. Twitch Lemon, 3 wide into the source, trying to get the move done. That's Yoram trying to fight through the middle. Killer Blue, great racing between them both. And look at Coutinho, he's still there.
Absolutely, as the standings just try and catch up with the action we have seen going now up through Radion and onwards now towards the Kemmel Straight. Here comes one of the Alpha Tauris heading our way now down that Kemmel Straight. It's nice and close. It's nice and tight as we make our way through. Meanwhile, Yaram is going side by side with, I believe that's Coutinho, making our way now in towards Laycom, trying to now having the inside line of the left-hander, but he can't quite make that stick. How about further down the field then? Coutinho still now on the back of Yaram, looking for a move up the inside of Brussels, has to back out of that one. Meanwhile, there's a Mercedes of Matthias who's run into the back of Killer Blue, James.
Yeah, Matthias just running into the back of Killer Blue. Right side end plate damage, I think, on the car. So that is going to be him trooping around to the pit lane. Left side end plate damage. In fact, I can't tell my left from right, honestly. Varky right on the back as well. He's going to try and hunt down on Matthias. In the meantime, side by side, Yoram trying to get the move done again on Twitch Lemon. Not quite close enough. The race is pretty much split in two. Amazing now is pulling away out in front by around a second from Papetum in second. Combi third, Hardy fourth. Chapelali, though, is on a mission, and he's got Imadi right in behind him as the cloud begins to build.
Absolutely, and we see Chapelali. Remember, he's on the medium tyres. He's doing really well out there, looking for some sort of alternate strategy. He realises today that going by the same strategy as everybody else isn't going to work. He's throwing the dice. He's trying something different. He's up in 5th place at the moment and keeping pace with the cars ahead. Yaram here as going side by side now with Lemon as we now exit towards the start-finish line. Yaram is up a position. He's up to 7th place now as we make our way all the way now down towards the source hairpin. Lap 3 here in Belgium. The two Red Bulls almost make contact once again. Coutinho having to keep his rear front wing outside of the rear wing of his teammate of Lemon, but looking towards Eau Rouge and Radion. We're going to go side by side. Surely not going up the hill now. Lemon's got the inside line heading our way through. Oh, there's contact, and Coutinho's into the wall. Two teammates collide at the top of Radion, and Coutinho has come off work.
Down the inside of Yoram, trying to get the overrun down into the Kemmel Straight, gets the move done. Yoram tries to switch it back, and that nearly puts him into Matthias, and Yoram very lucky there to not go into Varky as well. He spends Coutinho's round. Carnage here in Belgium.
Absolutely. Going down the bottom half of the order, that is, anyway, as we see Venom here has stopped. He's now onto a set of hard tyres. That was a little bit under the radar, but he did pit in on the very first lap of this race, presumably due to that damage that we couldn't quite see on our end, but there was definitely some damage there. There was definitely less grip than he had on the start of this race. But lap 3, amazing hour, 1.5 seconds ahead of our championship leader in Papetum. That is one way to make your mark, is getting ahead of the championship leader. But Combi then has moved up to 3rd. He's now ahead of Hardy, who finds himself under a little bit of pressure from Chapelali behind, who's on those medium tyres. And as we said, James, in qualifying, if you missed it by the way, he's a little bit of a diamond in the rough, is Chapelali. But maybe this alternate strategy is exactly what he needs to get him straight back up that championship order.
Well, we're going to see, I think, the mediums begin to switch and become quicker than the set of soft compound of tyres. To speak about that, Chapelali 3/10 off Amazing Hour's fastest lap last time around. So he is now on the back of Hardy. He's on the back of Combi as well. So he's going to be in a really good shout of trying to get a move done, certainly down the Kemmel Straight on one of them, if not two of them, down the Kemmel Straight. And he is right on the back of Hardy now. Hardy trying to use up that overtake load, opens up his DRS slightly earlier, and he's now closing in on Combi. But I think we're going to see everyone, as we are, third, fourth, and fifth remain. Killer Blue right on the back of Lemon, really closing down, and Lemon lets him through. So Killer Blue through, and he's up into 7th position, and Lemon does not want to get into a fight. That's not really his.
Yeah, and of course he's on the medium tyres as well. Maybe he's just thinking, this isn't my battle just yet. Wait till next time. Wait till later on in the race. Shapalele still trying to put that pressure on Hardy as we make our way now on towards that double left-hander of Pooh on lap number 4 as the clouds start to gather over the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Perpetum with a 3-second time penalty. That'll be added to the end of his race. There's nothing he can do about that. He's just going to press on and just try and neutralise that 3-second penalty as much as he possibly can. Now, with this obviously newish update, the update came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, you can see instantly the penalties around you as a driver and how much the penalties are. We were just riding aboard with Shapalele there as he now picks up a 3-second time penalty, and there's nothing quite like seeing a penalty be awarded to the driver ahead of you to give you that extra motivation you need to get the pass done.
Yeah, it's really difficult, I think, to not pick up a penalty around here at Belgium. There's always some corners that you're going to be picking up, or you're going to be taking as much as possible with limited room for error. And Chapelletti's just proven that. Through Stavilo, I think that was where he picked up a 3-second time penalty. Yoram and Cagino picked up additional penalties as well. 6 seconds as Varkey is through on Matthias. Matthias is into the pit lane as Killer Blue sets a new fastest lap of the race. And what a bit of clear air can do for you.
What a bit of clear air can do indeed. Shapalele, meanwhile, has got a face full of dirty air from the back of XL Hardy as we now make our way down the Kemmel Straight, and they're evenly spaced out as we head down the Kemmel Straight. Shapalele, obviously with that DRS, he knows not to use his ERS at this moment in time. It would just be wasting that energy that you can so desperately need around a track like Belgium, where there aren't many heavy braking zones and a lot of straights where you need that ERS management. It is critical here at a track like Belgium as we now head away in towards Brussels. That's a car off at La Source. And what's that Cagino there, I wonder?
No. Cagino was just coming through turn 1. I was on board with him, and that yellow flag was a ghost, quite literally.
Ah, well, there we go then. A phantom yellow flag. Not often you get those. Apparently you see them at Belgium.
Yeah, he nearly lost it actually coming up through Rouge and Radion, but recovered the car just about. Looks quite unstable, that setup that he's got on. Venom, by the way, is losing the time to Yoram as well. I just think there might be some sort of issue that he might have, whether it's not loaded as setup or something. He looks like he's struggling out on track tonight, and it's not normally you see Venom, I should say, in this position. Hardy, by the way, is trying to close up on Combi, running through Blanchimont as well.
Yeah, and as you can see, ERS deployment seems to be at a minimum right now because drivers are desperately trying to make sure that they hang on to what little ERS they are able to harvest around this track as Hardy now makes his way in through the bus stop chicane onwards now towards the start-finish straight. Again, you can see a little bit of a squeeze of the energy there, but that's really about it as you turn down that ERS deployment. Now you can see they're just amongst the HUD that the pit window is now open for soft tyre runners. Lap number 6 seems to be around about the time you called there, James, so if that's a James Head prediction, that might go right.
That might go right indeed, but these guys can probably last out their tyres for around lap 8, lap 9 at a real push to try and get a set of mediums on towards the end of the race, and I think this is what these guys are hoping for. It's still so close for the top 6. There's literally about 3 seconds covering the top 6 out on track, which is not normally what you see here in TTML. There's been no safety cars, no VSCs. Everyone in this top 6 are here on merit, and they're showing why Division 1 is the best out there in terms of TTML. Perpetum's just trying to gain on Amazing Now, and Combi's just lost a little bit of time. So Perpetum is now, Combi I should say, is now out of Perpetum's DRS zone. So if this was a DRS zone here, he would be out of it. He wouldn't be getting anything. But I guess Combi is going to be helped in the fact that he's going to be running a little bit more clear air. Shapalele is right on the back of Hardy.
Yeah, he's just filling those racing point mirrors with a bit white and red of Alfa Romeo. And I was going to touch on this gap for the lead because Amazing Hour, that gap between himself and Perpetum has been sized down over the last couple of laps. It's now less than a second. 6/10 separates our two leaders of the Belgian Grand Prix. We're just going to jump on board with Chapelele because he's deploying his ERS, and that can only mean one thing. He thinks he's got a chance into the bus stop chicane. He's going to have to go the long way around. He switches back now, up the inside in towards the bus stop chicane, through the penultimate corner, now through the final corner. He'll try a little bit of a cutback so you can get the better traction, but can't quite find it there. Hardy just about holds on. Is there a move on in towards La Source? Chapelele certainly dummies it, but doesn't quite commit to the move. And now we head down the hill. Well, I think Chapelele might have a go here, running in towards Eau Rouge and Radion.
Petam's got a chance at Amazing Hour as well. Look at the gap beginning to close down. 4/10 of a second separating. Schiaparelli right on the back of Hardy. I think it's a case of you pick one, I'll pick the other. Petam trying to close up on Amazing Hour, but I don't think he's going to get the move done. So we'll come back to Hardy and Schiaparelli, who are running side by side. And now Schiaparelli gets the move done around the outside of Hardy, going in towards La Source, and he's through and he's up into fourth. And Twitch Lemon has just done the same down the straight on Killer Blue when he's through, and Yoram is about to do the same on Barky. They really like these, as Gaginius retired into the pit lane. Brilliant move by Yoram late on the brakes. Gets the move done on Barky for P9.
Yeah, a great move from Schiaparelli as well, using that DRS and those medium tyres to his advantage at this moment in time. Hardy struggling for grip in that last sector alone. He's fallen to 9/10 behind Schiaparelli, so either the battling might have overheated his tyres, or he's just struggling for that grip, because now Amadi is closing up to him. Pepetta, meanwhile, obviously he's now got that gap down to around about, it was about half a second, but it keeps fluctuating, of course, with these corners coming at you thick and fast as we make our way through Stavilo. Schiaparelli, another 3-second time penalty. That'll add to his total, which we'll see towards the end of the race. No longer do we have to go into the menu, or at least one of us has to go into the menu to find the race director. We'll be able to show you that as a graphic in the last couple of laps, just to keep you up to date as to who is got the best chance of winning this race. At the moment, it's Amazing Hour, because he's running a great race. As I say that, the Australian is one of the first to come into the pits. Papetum stays out, so too does Combi come into the pits. So the Australian now, lap number 8. Surely this is medium tyres going on for the Alfa Romeo.
This has to be medium tyres. Certainly right on board with Combi. His pit window is now for a set of mediums, lap 8 to lap 9. So, yeah, I would take that, to be honest, in terms of a James Head prediction. And Combi's got right out ahead of Killer Blue, who's still yet to make his pit stop as well. So he hasn't lost much time at all. Amazing Hour is going to be coming out in literally a little bit of clear air. And he's got the added bonus of having Yoram and Barky about 2.5 seconds up the road. And Barky and Yoram are now going to battle, coming through Rouge and Radion. Just hanging up the overtake road is Barky, and now runs down. Mediums against softs. You would favour the mediums at this point. Yoram got the move done. He moves across slightly on Barky. Barky moves back at him, and that is why you get a move done. Barky is through and he's up into fifth position. A little bit of rubbing wheels. They're being friendly with each other, I can say.
Well, Yoram, you can see those soft tyres are starting to feel their best before date approaching. If not, they've already passed them, because Varky made that look easy down the Camel Straight. Such is the condition of those medium tyres, as Hardy now picks up a 3-second time penalty. That'll be added to the end of his race.
Yeah, he ran wide coming through Pouon, and that's where Schiaparelli picked one up earlier on as well. So in terms of everyone out on track, about a third of the way through, Papeton's got a 3-second time penalty, so has Hardy. Schiaparelli's got 6 and Yoram has got 6. Gaginius, before he retired into the pit, then I think he had 6 as well. So that's a little bit of a live update going on in terms of the tyres. Papeton, though, is going to try and stretch us out. He should try and use up that overtake load as much as possible. Because Amazing Hour, looking at the mini-map, is just coming through Stavilo and on the run up towards Blanchimont now. It's a very short pit stop around here. It's literally about 15 seconds, this pit stop, and Papeton will have to try and get this. Schiaparelli has continued on. Hardy is into the pit lane as well. And this means we're now into the pit lane. Amazing Hour through the bus stop chicane. I think you know where this one's going to go, to be honest.
Well, AlphaTauri into the pit lane, then Amazing Hour just making his way down the start-finish straight. And of course, the nature of the pit lane exit, you're instantly at a disadvantage at the pit lane exit, and Amazing Hour will easily take back the representative lead of this race.
Oh, Combi, I think, might get the undercut. He's got the run on the run down towards the Rouge and Radion, but he's going to wait. He is going to wait for the move. He's right in behind Papeton. He nearly got the undercut, so well done to Combi for nearly getting that done. And now running down the straight, Yoram closing in on Varky. It is round 3 between these guys, and Yoram to the inside line. Varky on the outside line. Oh, they make contact slightly. Varky pushes them wide slightly, and now Amazing Hour could be caught up in this. And Amazing Hour, this is not the greatest scenario to be in. Having 2 cars battling ahead of you, for position, and Amazing Hour is going to try and split it through the middle. He should just wait. He's having to sit and suffer at the worst part on the track.
Yeah, Varky getting all sorts of trouble on the exit of Ix there as Amazing Hour tries to move up the inside in towards Pouon, and this will be so frustrating for him. He's on fresh tyres, but he can't find that move in. Here we go then towards the entrance of the campus section. He's going to try and send it up the inside there. Can he keep a hold of that car? Yes, he can. The Australian is leaving nothing to chance. He gets that move done, seals the move, and moves now up into 4th place. Yoram will be next on his list, and he's made it through that relatively unscathed. That one point he had to thread that needle, but look how much time that has cost Amazing Hour. When Papetum emerged from the pit lane, that gap between himself and Papetum was 2.5 seconds. The gap now is 1.1. It has cost him a huge amount of time, but the most important thing for Amazing Hour is half the job is done there.
Oh, Jorans went wide. He's gone into the pit lane. Luckily for him, he just about came across in front of Amazing Hour. No contact made between them both. But Papetum, I'll correct you with the gap. It was 3 seconds coming out the pit lane between them both. And Amazing Hour now stands at about 1.2 seconds. Papetum has got a car in front of him and has got the added bonus of DRS. Amazing Hour doesn't. Papetum, this is now for the taking, possibly for the race win, as he now latches onto the back of Varkey and passes him easily down the Kemmel straight. He'll get the run on Amazing Hour. Look at the gap. There's hardly 5/10 in it running down towards towards Lacombe, I should say. And Amazing Hour is throwing it up into P3. Papetum throwing it up into P4. Matthias having a battle with Venom as well.
Yeah, Venom and Matthias going side by side down the Kemmel Straight, but Matthias has got that move done. Going in towards Lacombe on those soft tyres. Can they last? Well, they're not going to last to the end of the race, of course. We're only on lap 10, so assuming he'll come in for another set of mediums later on in the race. But Papetum now, this is all to play for. Oh, Papetum has a huge moment going through pool on there. Just about managed to gather that up. New trousers, please, for Papetum.
He hasn't lost any time either. He's just running over the curves. He's getting a little bit too greedy. Don't be surprised. He picks up another 3-second time penalty with the way he's just overrunning the curves slightly. Amazing Hour's got 19% of ERS and 32% for Papetum. Papetum's beginning to close in. Combi is not going to try the impossibility and try and go around the outside through Blanchimont. He's only going to have a run in towards bus stop on the set of the medium tyres, right behind Varkey. Here he comes to the outside line. Late on the brakes. He should get this move done. Just waiting for him to get the move done. And he has got the move done. Down the inside in towards the bus stop chicane. Lovely move. On fresher tyres, and he's steering up into 5th.
Yeah, on fresh tyres. He made that look easy, didn't he? And he's now up to 5th place. Varkey, though, yet to stop in this race. The only driver, really. One of 3 drivers, I'm sorry to say. I apologise that I get my facts wrong, is what I'm trying to say. But a little bit of word vomit's happening right now, and I can't stop it. But Varkey is one of 3 drivers yet to stop in this race. There we go, that wasn't so difficult. Varkey, though, now has a little bit of DRS on the back of Combi. So this, after all of Combi's hard work, might have just been ruled out. But look at that ERS deployment. There's nothing left in that battery. Varkey's having to go the long way round in towards Lacombe. He's got the inside line, but Combi just about holds on to that position. And Varkey there, well, the lack of ERS that he had eventually was his downfall, and he stays in P6.
And look what this is doing as well. Imad and Hardy are beginning to latch onto the back. Hardy's 1.2 seconds off. He's still in that literal vagrant of clear air out on track. Imad isn't. Imad is stuck in Varkey's dirty air now, but he's got to try and make the move as soon as possible. Chapelletti's picked up another 3-second time penalty out on track. He's still going out in front. You know what? With him still going out there on that set of medium compound of tyres, he might come out in between Combi and Imad, possibly for a P4, a net P4 out on track, but crucially, he might be on the set of soft compound of tyres towards the end of the race, so he is going to be quicker than anybody else out on track. And you know what that means? His prediction might be coming right.
Well, it might be indeed. Imad is on the back of Varkey, who are expecting into the pit lane at some point in this race, of course, but not for another couple of laps, I expect, as he now makes his way through that bus stop chicane. So Imad has to make this move out on track as he makes his way down towards La Source hairpin. He's got Hardy on the back of him, DRS wide open then as we make our way down towards La Source. 11 to go in the Belgian Grand Prix. It is Chapellet who leads from Lemon, both yet to stop in this race. Amazing Hour 3rd with Papetum in 4th, Combi in 5th, Varkey yet to stop in 6th, Imad in 7th, Hardy in 8th, Killer Blue Knight, Matthias in 10th.
Looking at the interval timings between Amazing Hour and Chapelletti, it's 15 seconds the gap. Now, I said it was about a 17-second gap, I think, for Papetum when he came out the pit lane.
Here comes
Imad on the back of Varkey down the inside. Can he get the move done? Oh, they make contact. Imad tries to go for the move with the gap closing, and Hardy could come in on this as well. Hardy could get the switch back, running down towards Bruxelles. He's on the inside line. He's certainly going to have a go, but Imad uses up any left of that overtake mode and just about hangs on. But that was a little bit tough for my liking. 14.7 seconds the gap between Chapelletti and Amazing Hour. And if that means Chapelletti, he comes out 17 seconds He loses 17 seconds in the pit stop. He's going to be coming out ahead of Combi at this stage.
Well, it will be interesting to see towards the end of this race how that will all pan out. But of course, here in Belgium, where XL Hardy getting a little bit of a moment, getting a little bit too personal with the curbs, going through the campus section, and yeah, getting a little bit too close for comfort, getting a little bit too comfortable with those curbs. Had a little bit of a moment on the first half of that campus section, but manages to gather it up. Meanwhile, Imadi is going to look for another round with the Austrian in Varki as we now make our way towards Blanchimont. There goes Combi, and then there will go Varki, Imadi and Hardy not far behind them either, heading in towards that bus stop chicane. Chapelele still leads though by 5.3 seconds, but of course yet to stop in this race. Both of those drivers. Amazing Hour is in third place. He is 14 seconds back, 14 and a half seconds back from Chapelele. Here's Imadi then. Thought he might have tried to move in towards La Source, but the Williams runs wide. Oh, and straight goes into the path. Hardy, he runs into the side of Varki. Now, is there any damage to that racing point? If there isn't, he's a very, very lucky boy.
No, I think it was just wheel-on-wheel contact, to be honest, between Varki and Hardy. What Varki did, I think, was run onto the marbles on the outside. He just didn't get the traction, and that means Hardy now is down into P8, and he's got valuable time down the straight. But to put in a little bit of a pun here, dilly-dee, dilly-dong, D is up to 6. Terrible.
And we thank you for tuning in to tonight's recording of this race, but I apologise if James's joke has made you switch off, but we'll carry on. Lap 13 of this Belgian Grand Prix here in TT Masters League. You're watching League Racing TV. If you've liked this action so far, don't forget we're racing almost every weeknight. Normally we'd be live, and unfortunately this one you're having to watch in the future. But make sure you do subscribe, give that notification bell a ring if you want to see future battles and future races like this. Don't forget myself, Kieran McGinley and James Head. Our Twitters are down below if you want to give your commentary team a follow, as well as League Racing TV on Twitter. Don't forget, give them a follow, and then you'll have all the live updates of when and where we go live. Riding on board with Papetum, he's now half a second back on Amazing Hour as we make our way now through this double left-hander. We'll go through Plongimont as we think our way through, as we get our way through Chapelele into the pit lane. Here comes Papetum down towards that bus stop chicane. Not quite close enough just yet, but he's right on that rear diffuser right now, breathing down the neck of Amazing Hour. Now heading out of the bus stop chicane, heading now down towards La Source. Papetum now trying to fight for what now becomes the lead of this race. Close in the pit lane is Chapelele. Wonder where he will emerge. Papetum, though, will ride on board with him because he's got the DRS. He'll have some DRS going down towards Les Combes. Here we go then, through Eau Rouge, up Radillon, and towards the Les Combes section. Papetum will have some DRS. He deploys the ERS. They're going to go side by side, the two of them. Papetum has the racing line going down towards Les Combes, and Papetum, for the first time today, leads the Belgian Grand Prix.
Chapelele's just got Combi round the outside as well, and Hardy round the outside, just coming out of Radillon, gets the move done on Varki as well. So he's now up into P6, Chapelele up to P3, and pretty much where I expect them to come out. He came out about 3 seconds behind Papetum, who then took the race lead. Amazing Hour, though, is in second. Chapelele has got this race now right in one hand at this moment in time. He's got many, many penalties, 9 seconds worth. But if he can get past Amazing Hour and Papetum, I think he's on for this race win. Currently, Amazing Hour needs to outscore Papetum. Chapelele can stay third, and Combi can just fall off the cliff. Everyone else needs to fall off the cliff for my prediction to come right. And Chapelele picks up another penalty. Yeah, that's going to bite him towards the end of this race. Papetum, of course, second place in the standings right now. A win today, which is, of course, 30 points in this alternate point scoring system, will get him very, very happy indeed, because that will put him in the lead of the championship. But a win will have to do at this moment in time. He leads the Belgian Grand Prix, making our way, tiptoeing our way through the bus stop chicane, and Papetum will start lap number 15 in the lead of the race. Then we have 8 to go here in Spa-Francorchamps, and now Papetum leads this race. Amazing Hour in second place, Chapelele in third, but watch out for his penalty count, because the more corners that come his way, it looks like the more penalties he's racking up. We'll have to see whereabouts he finishes in terms of penalties as we get towards the later stages of this race. Just having a look through the standings here, we'll see Lemon on the back of Killer Blue, and Lemon's got a good run going through Radillon, and now down the Kemmel Straight. He's opened up some DRS. He's got the outside line, but Killer Blue, with no DRS to defend, Lemon finds that 8th place and moves up
into that 8th spot. Now, of course, Perpetum won the British Grand Prix last time around ahead of Medium Pilot. And in terms of other podiums, well, there was a podium at Azerbaijan. And looking back through the rest of the order, there's podiums that are had all the way through. China, he scored a 3rd place in the second round of the season.
Lemon's just made a howl of a mistake coming out through 8th corner. Luckily, no right side end plate damage, but that was literally front end plate scraping against the wall.
Well, that is very, very close indeed, as cutting the fine margins for sure. You can see actually how many penalties there are, or how many drivers have at least one penalty next to their name. The only drivers that haven't: Amazing Hour, Combi, and Lemon, and also Venom down the order. Here is Lemon. We're riding on board with him. He's going to try and go round the outside in towards Blanchimont. We're going to go side by side through Blanchimont, but Lemon gets the position done. Varkey says no, not having that one, and the Red Bull gets that position up there. Does Varkey try a little bit of a cutback in towards the bus stop chicane? No, he doesn't. He actually breaks a little bit earlier, as Chapelele now sets the fastest lap of the race, 44.1. He's right up and close and personal with his teammate as we now make our way out of La Source hairpin. We have 7 to go here in Belgium, and the 2 leaders, Perpetum and Amazing Hour, on medium tyres. But look at Chapelele on the soft tyres, but with a mountain of penalties, he's really got a mountain to climb.
He has got a mountain to climb, but his mountain starts here. Literally, the summit is right there in front of him. Amazing Hour and Perpetum, 2nd and 1st, currently out on track. And if you enjoyed that mountain pun, there'll be plenty more where that came from to go through in the later streams. Perpetum leading away from Amazing Hour in 2nd. Chapelele losing it slightly out of Le Crom, and I just wondered if he wants to try and run in the clear air there. That was a little bit strange. I thought he had a problem there.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of a strange problem, didn't he? Just a momentary lapse in steering or acceleration, something like that. But he's back on it. Whatever the problem was, he's right back on it. 3rd place at the moment. He's only had one podium.
Killer Blue's right on the back of Varkey, running down in towards the Campos section. He's not going to get past, though. You can continue on.
Well, I was going to say, with Chapelele, he's only had one podium this season. That was a win at the Chinese Grand Prix. Here comes Chapelele, though, on his teammate. And his teammate, I think, is waving him through. As there you go, Chapelele up another position. Amazing Hour will wave him by, as now Chapelele can challenge for the lead of this Belgian Grand Prix. Maybe he can disrupt the rhythm that Perpetum has set in this later stage of the race. We head towards lap number 17 of this race. Perpetum still leads, but Chapelele's right up close and personal. But look at the penalties. Perpetum, 6 seconds. Chapelele, 12 seconds. Amazing Hour, absolutely nothing at all. I think he's grabbed the popcorn for this one, because Perpetum and Chapelele are about to do battle then as we head through Eau Rouge, over Radion. And here comes Chapelele now, down the left-hand side of the track. They run tyres there, going down the Kemmel straight, as Chapelele wants to get his way through, does get his way through, and Perpetum down to 2nd place. Chapelele leads the Belgian Grand Prix, as Matthias just sets the fast lap of the race of 43.0 from the Mercedes driver. Remember, you can get those fastest lap bonus points anywhere in the field so long as you take the checkered flag, and Matthias is clearly going for that extra bonus point to help him and his championship standings going in towards round 8 next week. But I have to say, Chapelele running and rubbing tyres with Perpetum, not sure what that was about.
I think Perpetum honestly was just trying to come across him and try not put him running down the straight. It was inevitable that Chapelele was going to get the move, just trying to get into the mindset, I think, of the driver there, Perpetum, out on track. Twitch Lemon, by the way, is beginning to fly through the field. He got Hardy on the run up towards Lecom, and he's now throwing up into P6. He is a real big one to watch in terms of the penalties, because he's got none. Everyone in front of him now, up to 2nd, is on a set of medium compound of tyres. He can't do this, can he?
Well, we're about to find out as we head into the closing stages of this Belgian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Venom has got away past Varkey, so Venom is now up into 9th place.
Varkey's got a puncture! Varkey's got a puncture, left front puncture for Varkey. He's trying to carry those tyres that long. 17 laps on a set of mediums, way too long to go. That tyre might be coming off the rim as he comes towards the pit lane, but Varkey has got a left front puncture, and that tyre probably would have reached about popping point on the first sector, and that's why he lost the time and lost the position to Venom.
Yeah, so he has to now come into the pit lane. Well, look at that amount of understeer he has with a puncture.
He's still continuing.
He's going to continue. He missed the pit lane. Varkey missed the pit lane. He was so hasty to get back to the pit lane, he's missed it completely. So he's got to do another 7 kilometres on a deflated tyre. And if anything, that's going to make him feel just as deflated as his left front tyre. Pepetta, meanwhile, then, is trying to reel back in Chapelele. Amazing Hour is enjoying this one because all he has to do is just watch on for this battle, because Chapelele's got 12 seconds worth of penalties. Pepetta's got 6. And if Amazing Hour just keeps it clean, he'll be able to get to the checker flag with a win.
Chapelele's got another one. 3-second time penalties. That means he's on 15. Pepetum's on 6. Pepetum really can just back off by 9 seconds and still Chapelele will finish ahead of Chapelele out on track. Amazing Hours in 3rd. Combi's just beginning to try and reel him in though in 4th. Imadi Twitch Lemon as well. Imadi having a massive lockup running down towards Bruxelles, but Lemon cannot find a way through. Lemon honestly needs to put the hammer down, and he needs to get past these two to have any sort of chance of getting onto the front guys. He will still have the tyres towards the end of the race to do it.
Well, we'll have to keep a close eye on him as he makes his way through Blanchemont, trying to close into Imadi. He's railing him in at a rate of knots. Pepetum with another 3-second time penalty. That win is more and more ever falling into Amazing Hour's lap at this moment in time. Currently 3rd place, but well within his right to try and claim this as a race win. Combi looking for a 2nd place as well. Lemon all runs into the back of Imadi, heading in towards the La Source hairpin, and I think he's just about got away with damage, but he'll look for a run down towards Rouge and Radion, and he has got him then. Imadi backs out as we head our way up the hill.
But Imadi had damage. I'm just looking on board with that car. That looks to me as if those tyres might be beginning to go. He's trying to conserve them. Out on track, Amazing Hours right on the back as well for Petum coming into the corner, but he wasn't close enough to try and get the move done. 1 down for Lemon, 1 to go in his pursuit to try and win this race. He needs to now close up on the back of Combi. Those tyres can do it out on track. 4.4 seconds. The gap is really just beginning to ebb away. The kilometres ticking down. Lemon needs to put the hammer down. He needs to use up that overtake mode at every point of the track. He can use it up to try and have a go. He's certainly going to be on the podium. Whether he can get the win, we'll have to wait and see.
We will indeed, but Amazing Hour, it's for his chances of getting the win. It looks like it's getting better and better as each kilometre passes. Chapelele on a 15-second worth of penalties. We've got Pepetum on 9 seconds worth of penalties. Amazing Hour, Combi, Lemon have nothing at all. They've got a great chance of being our podium here tonight at the Belgian Grand Prix. And Chapelele and Pepetum will just be thinking about trying to get as far ahead as possible. For Chapelele, though, well, we're getting to a point where I think the stewards, the in-game stewards at least, could be readying that black flag. They don't take much around Belgium to trigger that black flag for track limits. And if you get to that sort of 18-second, 21-second stage, you have to tread thinly. You are on thin ice with those stewards there. Meanwhile, on board with Lemon as he tries to reel in Combi more and more as we head our way now down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. The top 3 separated by 1.7 seconds. Twitch Lemon making our way up the hill, riding on board with the Red Bull driver. He's closing in on the Ferrari. Combi tries to break the slipstream and Lemon just takes even more of it. Moves to the left-hand side of the track and gets that position. Then through he goes and up a position. Varky, I believe that is, who is in trouble at Stavlo. Yeah, he's had to go another full lap. Remember, he has to cover this entire section. This time he'll be hoping he can slow it down enough to get into the pit lane.
How's that tyre not popped? The simple as that. He's doing Hamilton 2020, last lap of the race at Silverstone. The simple as that. He's gone wide again. He's going to miss the pit lane again if he's not careful. Now he recovers it. Yeah, he's into the pit lane.
He'll definitely make that one as he now makes his way in towards that pit lane. Well, the saving grace for him now is that the soft tyres will definitely get to the end. He can go for a set of soft tyres, go for the fastest lap, and just try and get an extra point on the board. He'll only have one shot to do it then, because by the time he emerges, he'll be covered and, well, basically shown the blue flag. But he trundles his way in towards that pit lane at long last, 7 kilometres more than he wanted, but he gets that tyre done, and it's also a front wing change as well for the Williams crew. The Williams now leaves the pit lane, and this is going to be a fastest lap attempt then from Varky. as he looks to try and get an extra point on the board. Penultimate lap then of this Belgian Grand Prix, and it's looking more and more likely that Amazing Hour can get this race win. This will be his first win in only his second attempt, and it'll be back-to-back podiums if it finishes like this. We've had no full course yellows this entire race. It has been green flag running all the way through, and as we make our way now on towards the Kemmel Straight, Amazing Hour, I think here, will just be happy to sit in the slipstream of Perpetum. He'll just be happy to watch on. His teammates leading, but he's got 15 seconds worth of penalties. He's not going to take this race win, bar a miracle.
Bar a miracle, yeah. And Lemon not going to be closing in either, so it's between these front three really out on track. Combi is on for podium possibly as well, judging by the amount of penalties, but he's just dropping out of Perpetum. It's 7 seconds a gap. I'm going to monitor that really closely over the next 2 laps or so. But Schiaparelli leading the way out on track. Perpetum second, Amazing Hour in third. It might not be a James Head prediction extraordinaire, but I'm very happy to see my 3 drivers that I predicted in the top 3 currently.
Well, Schiaparelli now making his way through Stavelot. I mean, the alternate strategy has worked a treat, hasn't it? It's got him to the front of the pack. Unfortunately, though, with his penalties that have got along the way, he's going to drop well down the order, but he now makes his way onwards. We go towards a Blanchimont. Amazing Hour closing in on Perpetum as we now make our way through. I just don't think Amazing Hour is going to go for a move on Perpetum. I think he realises that there's no need to. He can sit back, relax, save some fuel, save some ERS, grab the popcorn, and let the others do the work for you. Here goes Schiaparelli then to start the final lap of the Belgian Grand Prix here in TT Masters League. Rounding now in towards La Source hairpin and running now down the hill. They've got the Williams of Varkey ahead of him, who was trying to and go for the fast lap. Why not? He's got nothing to lose down there in 12th place, but fair play to him for sticking with it and sticking with the course here to try and finish and get some points on the board for not only himself but for Williams as well. Schiaparelli feels he has to go defensive going down towards Lacon and trying to cover off that inside line, but he's reeled in now by Perpetum. Perpetum's trying for a move. Varkey picking up a penalty. We'll come to that later. Perpetum, though, is looking on the pace. I wonder if Schiaparelli's tyres have just suddenly given up the ghost. Perpetum runs into the back of him. Into the back goes Perpetum. Damage to his left-hand side of the front wing. And there you go, Amazing Hour just watching on. He's able to just stick out of it, stay out of it, and just watch on as the carnage emerges in front of him. He doesn't need to make the move. A little bit of a moment for him going through Pouon. That will not do his nerves any good whatsoever, but he's managed to hold on to it. But Schiaparelli, I think his tyres are starting to go. Either that or he's realised he's had a look at the tyre wear and realised they're at about 80%. Perpetum trying to hang on to second place again. Amazing Hour doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to put Perpetum under pressure. He just needs to make sure he has a clean run all the way to the line and make sure he's got 4 wheels on his wagon. He's going to go for it anyway. We're looking to go side by side. This is not where you want to be with a car that's going to understeer all the way through Blanchimont. Amazing Hour has to go the wrong way round. He's just about held onto it. He's going to make the move on track down in towards the bus stop chicane. There's contact. Amazing Hour gets a lot of opposite lock. Meanwhile, Schiaparelli spins up the rear tyres. He takes the win out on track. Perpetum second, but there's the win. The win that Amazing Hour has earned tonight. What a win for the Australian. And he takes the win at the Belgian Grand Prix. He gave it his all to have that position out on track. That didn't matter though. Amazing Hour in his second attempt grabs his first race win in TT Masters League. Lemon grabs second place, Combi third, Perpetum finishing outside of the podium and not able to extend or not even able to take that championship lead. It's Schiaparelli in 5th place.
Jan spins out the final corner. Matthias gets P10, I think.
Yeah, Matthias will move up there. Up the order is Varkey. We've got just at the at Brussels, that is, as he now makes his way towards X corner. As Yaron crosses the line, he finishes in 11th and instantly has says goodnight to us all. But well, what a final lap that was. Amazing Hour didn't have to get involved, didn't need to get involved. He wanted to get involved anyway. I wonder if he was trying to actually help out his teammate as much as possible to try and get him up the order. It wouldn't have mattered behind, but it certainly would have mattered in these positions, as Schiaparelli will grab 5th place, Perpetum 4th, but the Australian is going to take a well-earned 30 points in this race. Just to have a look at the fastest lap of the race, it's currently with Matthias, a 43.0 on a set of those soft tyres. He gets 10th place, and at the moment, he will get himself an extra bonus point for fastest lap of the race. We're just seeing Varkey now making his way in through that final bus stop chicane and onwards towards the start-finish line. He had a puncture, missed the pit lane, but will still round off into 12th place. Doesn't get the fastest lap of the race. That will go to Matthias. But the race win in only his second TT Masters League appearance here in League One. It's the Australian in Amazing Hour. And it is Lemon who is voted as the in-game driver of the day. Well, Amazing Hour, just to overuse that amazing pun, has had an amazing time. It's 30 points for him, 30 points as well for Alfa Romeo, and a top 3 we haven't seen before.
His hour came, he was amazing. That's the best pun I can find, honestly. A really good drive from him, though. Cannot take your hat off to him, because you have to. You just have to. And being his second race out on track, he drove an absolute sterling race. Twitch Lemon was catching. I thought if there was going to be another lap, Amazing Hour would have had to sit and suffer, but sadly, sadly for Lemon, he finishes second, but Amazing Hour wins.
Yes, he does. Your official, unofficial results then. Just over 39 minutes it took to run this race. An Amazing Hour goes from pole to the win in quite an astonishing race. Lemon from 10th to 2nd. No wonder he got the driver of the day. Really good result for him. Combi finishing in 3rd place with Papetum in 4th. Opportunity missed to grab the championship lead here tonight. Chapalele in 5th, Amadi 6th, Hardy in 7th, with Killer Blue in 8th, Venom 9th, and Matthias in 10th. Yaram does get across the line in 11th, and Varkey doesn't go a lap down, missing the pit lane and having to do an extra 7 kilometres on a deflated tyre certainly didn't help, but he stayed in the race and got himself the points that he needed to get himself up the order even more. Well, you can say what you like about the race tonight. You will not be able to take anything away from Amazing Hour's amazing performance, and I promise we'll stop saying amazing very soon. Unfortunately, there won't be any interviews tonight because it's all pre-recorded, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to timing-wise and whatnot, and you know, the fact that the PS4 can only record for an hour, and I've lost track of how long this has taken, so no interviews for tonight, otherwise it'll just cut off halfway through a driver's sentence, which we don't kind of want. But James, what I'll do then is leave the final remarks of the Belgian Grand Prix with you. It's been a fantastic one.
It has been a fantastic one, really thrilling as well, and hats off to everyone, I think, out on track for driving such an astute race. Yes, there was little points of contact out on track, and yes, there was a little bit of fighting. Varkey missed the pit lane as well, but Amazing Hour comes out on top, and to put the final pun in his coffin, that was amazing.
Yeah, have we said that enough? I wonder. Well, don't forget, you can tune in to us next week. Hopefully we will be live that time around for the Singapore Grand Prix and the 8th round of the championship. We only have 4 rounds to go. It has flown by, hasn't it? But yeah, 4 rounds to go to decide this championship. And it's a bit of an opportunity missed for Papetum. That was a good chance for him to grab the championship lead in absence of so many title rivals around him. He'll be ruining those mistakes and he'll be ruining those penalties, but that's racing and he's got to focus on the next time around when we head to Singapore. If you like that action, well, we're racing every week here on League Racing TV. We race every weekday, in fact. As you will see if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, there's a race every night for you to go and enjoy. So make sure you are subscribed down below. If you want to follow the commentary team, myself, Kieran McGinley, and James Head, our Twitters are down below, so give us a follow as well if you are so inclined. And don't forget, the League Racing TV Twitter and TT Masters League Twitter is also in the link down below. So hopefully you'll give those a check out and a bit of a follow as well. Well, it's been a fantastic night of racing here at the Belgian Grand Prix. One final real thing to say is that obviously the news about Romain Grosjean at this time of recording has been really encouraging. Hopefully he'll be discharged from hospital soon. He's made some amazing progress in hospital. He's absolutely doing splendidly, and if those burns on his hands are some story to tell, he has quite a story to tell. Hopefully we'll get to see him back for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in real life in just a couple of weeks' time, but we wish him all the best here from all of us at League Racing TV, and we hope to see him back behind the wheel very, very soon. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's racing. Myself and James Head will be signing off for this night of racing. We hope to see you next week for the Singapore Grand Prix. In the meantime, please look after yourself in this crazy world we live in out there. And as always, thank you for watching. I've been Kieran McGinley.
I've been James Head.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.